come on up. You can be the sales extension.
Okay.
This is Guy Wellman. He's going to talk a little bit about his involvement in the military and what.
Okay. Well, hi again, Guy Wellman. Essentially, basically, the military. Why did I join? I went in right out of high school. I knew my senior year, halfway through senior year, that it was the right choice for me, primarily because I got my SAT scores back, and they pretty much said, you're not ready for college. And also, I'll admit that I was heavily under the influence of the movie Top Gun because I was all gung ho. But thirdly, and probably most important, I was adopted. I came to the United States when I was a year and a half, and after realizing all the opportunities that growing up here has given me, I grew up right here in Delaware, I came to realize that one of the greatest things I can give back is service to my country. So I did just that. I enlisted in the Navy, like I said, halfway through my high school, senior year of high school, and went straight into boot camp in August. And my military experience was a little bit different than most of my shipmates because honestly, I spent a total of 6 hours on the ocean. I was pretty much shore duty. I was a chaplain's assistant. What that means is basically I showed up, I set up things for whatever denomination of chaplain I was working for, and also an event coordinator doing baptism, funerals, weddings, unfortunately funerals. But I was stationed in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, my entire active duty enlistment. And it was a really great experience just because I got a chance to actually see the significance of Pearl Harbor and what happened there, and got a chance to fully appreciate what the people who were in the military before me, what they went through. So that was pretty much my military service for active duty. Then I did 2 years reserve when I was in college, and then it was time to move down. But I learned a tremendous amount that I still use today. One of the biggest things that I learned in the military was simply, and you'll probably laugh at this, but it's hurry up and wait. It simply just means get there on time and then you could end up waiting. That's helped with CrossFit especially because who here has been working forever on their whatever it is? I know for me, I still can't get the ring muscle ups. I've been working on that since I came in. Not even close, but I'm working at it. So I know that if I work at it, eventually it's going to happen. The other thing too is simply that one of the things that for me at least with CrossFit and with exercising and just pretty much all of this, it's been a great life lesson for me to simply know that failure is a part of this, but also in addition to that there are successes. And it might be just doing 1 extra rep, 2 extra reps, or setting a new PR you have no idea you can do. I've done many of those here, and I'm ready to get back to that. For some of you who, like, who is this guy? I basically had to stop coming for a year because I busted my knee up, and I needed to take some time to rehab it, so now I feel like I'm ready to jump into it, so thank goodness. But what I'm doing right now, and a lot of what the military helped me, after being a social worker and a special education teacher, I'm now a full-time actor and model, and I'm using all of those life lessons to help create characters, and that certainly has helped with different projects I've done. Most recently, I just did a stage run of 12 Angry Jurors, and a lot of what I did on stage was simply channeling a lot of inner anger to bring this character and basically scare the audience, because there's one scene, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I played the juror that basically wanted to get out of there, and I let that show from the minute I walked on stage to the minute that I realized, oh, you really got a responsibility here. So anyway, a lot of this has been, with my military experience, was simply, the stepping stones for me to where I am today, to get into levels of success, levels of challenging myself to new things. Knowing that when I busted my knee up, I'm going to eventually make it back, but I had to take the time to rehab this because I still like to walk. And get back to this. So my plan was to come back in January, but I'm probably going to start sooner than that now. So a lot of what I've done at CrossFit, I can thank Coach Mick over here for. She's been a huge, huge help. I was working out in Hawaii, and I text her every once in a while, hey, Coach Mick, I came up with this crazy Coach Mick workout dedicated to her, which always inspired me and really crazy stuff. But advice simply for anybody, or if you know somebody, or if you have a cousin, brother, sister, little brother or sister about the military, for me, I just made it work for me because I know a lot of people just didn't have the same experience I had because they let some of the negativity of things in the military affect them in horrible, horrible ways. And I always, much like CrossFit, just wanted to surround myself with people who shared my interests, my passions, my desires. And the one thing simply I would suggest is that with joining the military, and pretty much just everything like this, is to know that you're not alone with these things. There are other people struggling with it, other people trying hard, other people trying to get bring muscle ups. And it's possible. It just takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. Again, being able to connect with the right people who share your interests and your passions. So, and the people are out there. And I mentioned this to someone else that one of the great things now that didn't exist back when I first started, we didn't have any social networking. I don't know how you feel about it, but I enjoy social networking just because it puts me in contact with veterans, with other people that I haven't seen in 25 years back in Pearl Harbor. So, point being, just there's other people out there that you don't even know who just want a little advice, a little encouragement to know that they can do it, they can accomplish these things. So with that, I guess that's it. Unless you guys have any questions or
I have a very funny story real quick.
Can I ask a question first? Are you going to audition for the new Top Gun movie?
What's that?
Are you going to audition for the new Top Gun movie?
I would love to, but I might be too old for that.
Oh, Tom Cruise is in it. You're good.
Yeah, right.